Now, in one of my previous videos, I was talking about puncture repairs. Now, puncture repairs account for over a third of all breakdown call-outs for the AA and the RAC. But the second most common call-out is a flat battery. Now, electric cars have the high voltage main battery, but they've also got a 12-volt battery. And that 12-volt battery will periodically run flat for certain reasons. Now, one of the most common reasons for a flat 12-volt battery in a Tesla Model 3 is the fact that the battery is just at the end of its life. It's had too many charge and discharge cycles. But another reason is that you've parked your car and you've got a very low main battery, and it then subsequently gets very cold overnight and you haven't charged it up. In that situation, you might find that your flat battery has insufficient charge in the morning when you want to get into your car. Now, most cars you can get into mechanically. Every single car that I've owned previously has got a mechanical override for your central locking system. Typically, it involves removing a plastic cover on your door handle, and then you've got access to a key slot which allows you to open the door. But with a Tesla Model 3, every single door, including the boot and the bonnet, is electrically locked. So if you've got a flat battery, how on earth do you get in? We've got one option here. Have a look here. We've got a tow hook cover. So we're going to have a look at that in a bit more detail. So it's taken me a great many attempts to open this tow hook cover. There is a manual on how to do this. The manual tells you to push in the top right hand corner and then pull gently in this corner. But I find pulling gently is insufficient. But there is another trick we can do. Oh, yes, you can do it. Very good. So then we can pull it out. One of the things to note is that we have got a slightly different design here. It's a more hexagonal shape here. Now, one of the things to have here is a battery. Let's just show you in a bit more detail. This is an A23 battery. It's a 12-volt battery. I'll put it inside a sealed plastic bag like this. But here, let's just show you in a bit more detail. Here we have got plus and minus leads. So what you can do with this battery is that you can connect it to these leads. You've got your 12-volt positive and you've got your neutral terminal. This will enable your bonnet to open up, but it will only allow your bonnet to open if there is no power to the car or if your car is unlocked. At the moment the car is locked, and I can demonstrate that here. We can just do that and we can do this. And nothing happens. Let's unlock the car. Okay, and I'm just going to just step this away a little bit more. Right, let's give this a go. So, neutral connected. There you go. So, now that we've got the bonnet open, we've got more options. So with the bonnet unlatched, let's open it up. What we have is a cover up here. We can just pull it and it will just unclip. And what we have here right there is your battery. We've got positive, negative terminals, and we've got a clamp here which holds the battery in place. This is a lead acid battery. It is, as I understand it, a 45 amp hour battery. Maybe a little bit different in terms of spec, but if your battery is flat, you've got your terminals readily accessible. So what I have in here is a bigger battery. This is a 24 watt hour battery. It has, amongst other things, USB outputs, so you can recharge your iPhone. It's got a USB input, so you can charge up this battery directly. And we have some crocodile clips. So what we do, we take this cover off and we plug it in. One thing to note, these are keyed, so you can't put the polarity in the wrong way round. So let's put this in. So what this enables you to do is you can charge up your battery. Now, the battery is fully charged anyway, but you'd essentially connect this to your neutral, like so, and you'd connect that to your positive. Once that's connected, you can then press your power button here and it will give you a bit of a boost. This is where a little bit of caution needs to be added to my comments. This battery is designed for starting engines. This one in particular is rated to 1000 amps. Now, you don't jump start a Tesla Model 3 in the same way that you jump start a petrol or diesel engine. Jump starting involves a lot of current for a very short length of time, just 1 or 2 seconds. That's it. What you have in a situation where you've got a dead battery on your Tesla Model 3, you need to you actually want to have 12 volts worth of power being supplied by your main battery to run all the accessories in your car. Now, if you have a look at the label here, it says it's 24 watt hours. Let's have a bit of context as to what that is. That is 4,800 milliamp hours in 5 volt terms. You can buy much cheaper batteries than this if all you're wanting to do is charge up your iPhone. Now 24 watt hours can run 24 watts of load for 1 hour. I'm pretty sure all the electronics inside a Tesla Model 3 will use a lot more than 24 watts. It'll probably be using something closer to 240 watts, in which case this battery would only keep your car powered for 6 minutes. Now 6 minutes might be enough time for you to plug your car in to a mains 7 kilowatt charger and get some 240 volts coming in. At which point your DC to DC converter should connect and then keep your 12 volt bus going. These batteries have got their uses for a Tesla Model 3. At the very least, you can charge up your phone. You've also got a light bulb. Let's just turn this on. And then you can switch on your lights and that gives you 100 lumens of illumination. I think I'd be in a very desperate situation if I had to rely on this to charge up the 12 volt battery. You're most likely going to have a problem with your 12 volt battery at your normal place where you're parking, which is at home. And if you're at home, my opinion is that you should get a trickle charger to charge up your battery. And that way you're not going to be limited by 24 watt hours of power. You can supply a lot more power with a trickle charger which is plugged into the mains. But nonetheless, I think having one of these in your bonnet is a good idea. Okay, so in order to put this back on, I'll just show you what these are. These are the clamps which hold it in place. So we'll just put this back in place. We just push down. and that's the job done. Now, one final note of caution with these batteries: they do have a storage temperature limit which goes up to 50 degrees Celsius. In the summertime, even in northern Scotland, I can imagine that the temperature inside this cabin will exceed 50 degrees Celsius. In my example, I've got a white Tesla Model 3 that actually reduces the amount of solar insolation which is absorbed by this car. And so the temperature in the bonnet, where there's no glass, might stay below 50 degrees Celsius. But if you're in the south of England or in other hotter climates, having a battery which is limited to 50 degrees Celsius in the bonnet during those hot months is unwise. I'd keep it in the bonnet during the winter time. That's the most likely time when you're likely to have any trouble with your battery anyway. And my next video, I haven't thought about what that's going to be about. I want to think about unique drives, which I haven't done yet. I've done a few drives out to the Highlands of Scotland for the day already. I've done a couple of drives for long distance and going on holiday. I think the next video I want to do about my Tesla Model 3 will be a unique drive. It will be a point of the compass drive to all the most extreme points of the Scottish mainland. I think that will be coming up. So in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.